much akin to last week when I discussed. Was it last week? It was recently. I talked about feeling anxious because I was aware of the joy I was feeling, and thus that took me out of the present. And that's really what made me anxious. It wasn't a feeling of joy that made me anxious, it was the fact that I was stopping to be aware of what I was feeling rather than just feeling it. And really similar to that, this morning I had this moment where everything seemed like super chill, and I got anxious because everything was so quiet, calm. Not like, well, no, I mean, I guess it was quiet in the house too, but there. In addition, though, there has been this underlying like raging river of anxiety beneath the surface that I've been feeling for the past week due to some very specific factors, but it's been, yeah, it's been a lot of anxiety nonetheless that's just there, either under the surface or right on top, and so that's a thing too. But this morning, I had a moment where everything just felt calm, and I was thinking about that, and I guess what it was is more of a moment of neutrality, which I don't feel really very often. Like, I was just thinking, like, maybe I'm anxious over the fact that I'm having feelings that I don't know what to do with, that are newer to me, that I'm not experienced with, and that is what can give me anxiety, is that I'm like, what is this feeling I don't understand? And it's not like I don't feel calm and peace. I do. It is definitely not something I feel as often as I feel other things, but I'm not weirded out when I do feel it. And that's why I kind of decided it was a feeling of neutrality, not a feeling of calm or peace that I was feeling this morning. However, usually to get to calm or peace, there's something that I have to be doing that is actively allowing for that emotion or feeling to take place. I did 2 paintings on the difference between feelings and emotions, and now I don't remember what the difference is. Yeah, I guess emotions are the thing, and then feelings are how you express the thing or interpret the thing. I need to look up those definitions again. Anyway, I realized that, yeah, calm and peace is achieved through something that is more active. So if I'm like mountain biking and then I like stop and just like sit down and meditate for a bit, and I feel so calm and serene, like it's a beautiful and wonderful feeling, but I have to do something to get there. Or if I'm just at home meditating, or like if there's times where, like, if you were receiving a massage or something like that, or someone's rubbing your feet, like those are times again. But there's like a setup. There could be music. There could be, a quiet room. There could be, the person you're with. But to just feel that randomly in the middle of the day, like I did today in the morning, I was just like, is that, what is happening here? And I think it was, again, it's so unfamiliar, but it wasn't calm or peace necessarily. It was neutrality. It was just like, I'm not in a state of feeling anything right now. Because generally I have big feelings. If I'm happy, I'm very happy. If I'm stressed, I'm very stressed. If I'm calm, I feel so calm. It just doesn't happen often. And there's rarely like a state of neutrality, which is just like nothing. Like I don't know, I'm curious now. How many people are in a state of neutrality and how often? And that was so foreign to me, to just nothing. Not joy, not calm, not happy, not whatever. And then it made me really anxious because I was just like, again, I don't think it was quite the same as last time where it was like, oh, I'm being pulled out of the feeling and I'm aware and I'm not in the present. And that's what did it. I think it was more so that I don't I don't have experience with this neutral feeling of just existing without having bigger emotions attached to my existence, my conscious state. Yeah, and that was just really weird. I do think, akin to that, that if I am calm, sometimes that could make me anxious because it is not often that I feel that way. But again, it's because, like, if I know why I'm calm, if I did something to create calm, if I'm in an environment which is meant to be calming, it doesn't make me feel that anxious or worried or concerned or weird or off because I know how I got there. I know why I'm feeling those feelings. But to just feel that out of nowhere, I guess I would relate it to if someone felt drunk but they didn't do any drinking. That would be alarming to be like, why do I feel drunk right now? I didn't drink anything but water this morning. Why do I feel drunk? Something's off, something's wrong. And that's what it feels like for me when I experience things that I'm not used to emotionally or mentally. That I'm just like, why is everything so neutral and everything's like just okay without like, man, things are really okay. Like, again, it could be like happy or joy, and I could feel like things are great, things are really good. But that's such an active and more extreme feeling than just like, I guess things are okay right now. I just didn't even know, like, I was just drifting. And not in a bad way, not in like a numb way. It was just like, I'm doing the thing that I am doing without carrying the weight of an emotion or feeling with it. The more I have these observations, the more I'm just like, man, I'm really messed up. My brain sucks, and I don't know, but it's interesting, like exploring these things, especially with other people, and exploring it with myself too. But having those conversations with others, and just being like, what is that? Like, is that a thing for you? Is that a thing? Like, what do people? What is normal? And I mean, I don't care about normal that much, but sometimes using it as a measuring stick of like, oh, this is what neurotypical, regular people, the average person feels, that's wild. Like, because sometimes if you think that in a certain arena of life you are neurotypical or the average, and then all of a sudden to find out that you're not, it's like a really interesting, funny thing. Like sometimes it's just like, I don't know. I've had conversations with friends before about like shower routines, and people just being like, "Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "I'm the only one who does that thing." Like I thought that was just how people showered. I thought that was, when you put, when you're eating and you put food in your mouth. I thought that's just what eating was, and you're telling me that it's not, and that's super weird to just hear and comprehend out of nowhere. Um, that's what it feels like sometimes to be like, whoa, I didn't realize I was different in that aspect. I knew I was different in all these other aspects, but this one I didn't know that was a thing. Um, anyway, those are my thoughts and feelings on. I don't know what to call this, but yeah, being really unfamiliar with something like that is not something I feel often, and therefore it can put me in a place of displacement and then ultra awareness, and then again out of the present. But again, it's also because I'm like, this is new. Why is this happening? What's going on?